Hi everyone! In this tutorial I will show you how to crochet the wig for our mini doll, which we will create in this year's online workshop. And you don't need to do this in advance, you can also do it in between the two workshop days or even afterwards. But we won't do it in the workshop, and this is why I make this tutorial for you today. Also, the tutorial is for beginners, so if you already know how to crochet, this might be a bit boring for you. In this case, you can just download the PDF instructions by clicking on the link below this video. Okay, let's get started. You will need your mohair yarn, then you need a crochet hook size 3.5, and you will need a piece of different colored yarn, or if you have, you can also use a round marker. And I start by taking the end of my yarn and just leading it from the back to the front between my little finger and my ring finger, and then back between the middle finger and the index finger, over the index finger, and wrap it around the thumb once, and now you can just hold the end here in between the ring finger and the middle finger, like this. And now I take my crochet hook and dip into the ring around the thumb, get the yarn once, pull it through the ring, so you have one loop on your needle, and now I get the yarn again and pull it through the loop, like this. Now this is my starting stitch. Now I will take the ring off my thumb, and what we do now is we will crochet 6 solid stitches into the ring. And this is how we do it. You dip into the ring from the top, get the yarn and pull it through the ring. And now I have 2 loops on my needle, get the yarn again and pull it through both loops. This is my first solid stitch. Now I make 5 more of these. So I dip into the ring again, get the yarn, pull it back through the ring, have 2 loops on the needle, get the yarn again and pull it through both loops. My second solid stitch. Again, I dip into the ring, get the yarn, pull it back, 2 loops on the needle, get the yarn again and pull through. My third solid stitch, so again, dip in, get the yarn, now get the yarn again and pull through. Number 4, again, dip into the ring, get the yarn, pull back, get the yarn again and pull through. 5, and one more time, dip in, get the yarn again and pull through. Now I have my 6 stitches here, and now I pull at the end of the yarn to close the ring. Now this might be a little bit difficult because of all the little hairs here that are in the way, so try to be careful, but pull really tight so the ring is completely closed. And now I wrap this around my fingers again like I showed you in the beginning, and you can hold your piece in between your thumb and your middle finger now, like this. And now we have our ring of 6 stitches, and what we will do now is in the first round we will stitch 2 stitches into each single stitch. So at the end we will end up with having 12 stitches. And to do that you first need to find your first stitch. And it's a bit hard to see where the stitches are actually. So if you look at your ring, the yarn is going across here at the bottom, and out of it there come 2 yarns in a little V shape. And the V shape is our first stitch. So you need to go into both sides of the V shape, like this. And now I get the yarn, pull it through the first stitch, have 2 loops on the needle again, get the yarn again and pull it through. Before we go on, there's one thing we need to do in order to get a really fluffy wig and to have all those little hairs here on top of the wig in the end and not just tangled in between. We need to pull on the little hairs before every stitch that we crochet. So just pull them back a little bit like this. And now I go into the same stitch again that I just went into, get the yarn again and pull it through, have 2 loops on the needle again, pull back the hair, get the yarn again and pull through. So now we have made 2 stitches into the first stitch, and now I do that again. So now I go into the next stitch, pull back the hair, get the yarn again and pull it through. Number 1. Now I go into the same stitch again, pull back the hair, and 2. Now I'm at my 3rd stitch, 1, and into the same stitch again, 2. Now I'm at my 4th stitch, 1 and 2. Now I'm at my 5th stitch, 1 and 2, and my last stitch, the number 6, 1 and 2 into the same stitch again. Now I'm at the end of my first round and I have 12 stitches here. And now I use my loop marker to get better orientation, because sometimes you get a little bit confused with the counting, and then you can have a little bit of orientation here. Now in the next round we will keep increasing stitches, but we will double up the stitches in every second stitch. So the first stitch is just normal. And now in the second stitch I crochet 1 stitch and go into the same stitch again to double up. And now I continue just like this for the rest of the round, meaning I always crochet 1 stitch regularly and then double up in the second stitch, meaning I crochet 2 stitches into the second stitch. Now I'm at the end of my second round, and now I can just pull out the round marker and just put it over here again for my next round. And in the next round we will continue to increase stitches, but only in every 3rd stitch. So I just crochet the first stitch regularly, then the second stitch also regularly, and in the 3rd stitch I double up, meaning I crochet 2 stitches into the 3rd stitch. And then again I make 2 regular stitches and double up in the 3rd again. And this is how I continue until the end of this round. And when you get to the end of your round, you can again remove the round marker and put it on top. And now if you turn your piece around, you should already be able to see that there's really a lot of fluffy hair here on top of the wig, while at the bottom you can see the rounds you have crocheted. Okay, now for the next round we just want to increase 4 more stitches. And we have 24 stitches in total. That means I crochet 6 stitches, then double up, 6 stitches, then double up, 6 stitches, double up, and then double up again at the end of the round, so that we end up with having 28 stitches in total. Now if you make a mistake and you somehow get confused while you're counting and don't know, did I do 5 stitches or 6 or whatever, it does not matter at all, because as you can see from the top, there's so much hair that you won't be able to see any mistakes. So don't worry about it, and you don't need to open it up again. So you can just keep going even if you made a mistake. Okay, now I'm at the end of my round again, and I can take out my round marker once more and put it over here. And now I'm at 28 stitches all around, and I don't need to increase any more stitches from now on. So I will just keep on crocheting round by round until I have crocheted 5 more rounds from here on. So now I have crocheted 5 more rounds. And if you do this in advance and don't have your mini doll finished yet, I would recommend to put this aside and do the last 2 or 3 rows when you have the doll, because now it makes sense to try it on in order to be sure that it's not too tight or too wide. So I will just try it on now. You need to unfold the rim a little bit because it tends to roll in. And my wig does fit perfectly actually, so I can just go on crocheting with my 28 stitches that I have and just do 1 or 2 more rounds and then I'll be finished. Now if your wig is too tight now, You can just increase some more stitches as we did at the beginning, maybe 4 or 6 depending on how tight it is. If it's just a little bit too tight, I would maybe increase 2 stitches in the next round, and if it's really way too tight, you might need to increase 5 or 6 stitches or even more. Now if it's too wide, you can decrease stitches, and I will show you now how to do that. Okay, now in order to decrease a stitch, I go into my next stitch, get my yarn and pull it through. And now instead of getting the yarn again and pulling it through both loops like I would do if I wanted to make a solid stitch, I just go into the next stitch again right away, get my yarn. So now I have 3 loops on my needle, and get the yarn and then pull it through all the 3 loops. Now I have decreased 1 stitch. Now I open this up again because I don't want to decrease stitches, but if your wig is just a little bit too wide, I would just increase 2 or 3 stitches in the next round. If it's really way too wide, you must decrease more stitches, of course. Okay, so now I do another round and then I try it on again. Okay, now I have crocheted another round and I will try the wig on again. And it should cover the darts here in front. And then also leave about 1 centimeter or 0.4 inches between the neckline and the rim of the wig. And when it is like this, then the wig is finished. Like mine is still a little bit too small, because if I pull it down here to 1 centimeter or 0.4 inches, I can see the end of the darts again here. So I will do another round now. But this is totally individual, so maybe you will not need another round, or maybe you will even need 2 more rounds. It depends on how tight you crochet, because everyone crochets a little bit different, and that's why the results are also individual always, and also the doll heads turn out a little bit different. Even though we all follow the same instruction, one might be a little bit bigger and one might be a little bit smaller. Okay, now I have crocheted another round here, and I'm pretty sure that my wig is finished now, but I will try it on again. And yes, now it covers the darts in the front and also here in the back. Just leaves about 1 centimeter or 0.4 inches space between the rim of the wig and the neckline. And now that I'm finished, I can just cut the yarn off and just pull it through my last loop here. Pull it tight. And yeah, our wig is finished now. We will sew it on the head together in the workshop, so for now we're finished.